for the position of governorship is the fact that we are a county that has plenty, and yet poverty is ravaging very many homes. And therefore, I intend in every sphere of life to empower not only the youth, not only the women, not only the elderly, not only the agricultural society people, not only the Juakali, not only the border, but many other sectors of society, so that they are empowered with skills to be able to do things on their own. And I must say that one of the major elements that I intend to introduce in this place is our population dynamics do not favor us in terms of what we must be as a very forward-looking county. Therefore, I intend to be able to create manufacturing sectors in the society to be able to help, first of all, creation of employment, secondly, be able to create skills that are relevant for the society, and also being able to do manufacturing both for the local consumption and for the regional consumption.
All right.
And I will expound much more when I have the second round.
Absolutely, we'll give you the second round in a bit. Let's talk about Kisii town, the headquarters of this county. Planning and congestion. There's a problem of sanitation and planning in this town of Kisii. Onchiri, if you're elected as governor, what is your plan in terms of ensuring this proper sanitation and, you know, the eradication of congestion in the town?
Okay, thank you, John. First, we need to understand the root cause of all this. The current sewage system that we have was made early 50s and has never been extended since that time. If we can look at our town, it is expanding, but the sewage is the same since 1950. So we have a very simple solution for that. With technology and our youths who have engaged in this, first and foremost, we need to extend this sewerage system to the estates. That is Jogo, Mwembe, even as far as Menyenkwa, and the Milimani, so that they can be connected to the main sewer, which is only in town. From there, the major challenge that we have is the collection and disposal of this sewerage system, which is currently the solution for this, given the mandate being a governor of this county, is very simple. With technology and our youths who have embarked on science and employing professionals in this, we can convert that sewer in Riana to two things. The sludge that floods in Riana can be converted into charcoal. It has been done in Kisumu, it has been done in Naivasha, and this charcoal is odorless. So that's for green energy. And the few smells that at Riana people, if we plant enough trees around that time, that place, it will do well oxygenation and fresh air. So the challenge that we have with Riana people is that they are saying this sewerage is smelling and causing other disturbances. We have to reward them. First and foremost, given the mandate as a governor, by October, I have to take them for benchmarking to Kisumu and Naivasha to see how this treatment is done. And now once we approach that way, we bring the companies which are in charge. That's employment for the Riana people. And the employment, as per the study, the current sewerage in Kisii County the sludge is harvested every 3 months. And that one can make a charcoal that can sustain Suneka market for a whole month. Right. So you can see the mass of jobs that can be created in Riana. You can see the mushrooming of businesses that can be created in Riana from the sewerage treatment.
All right, so your 2 minutes are over.
Thank you.
Bishop, your plan for sanitation and the end of congestion in Kisii town.
Thank you, my brother, for asking me such a nice question. After having served in the National Land Commission, right now, the people of Kisii and even those who are seated here, Kisii is not a town. is a shanty. You walk to all rivers of Kisii town. The riparian land has been grabbed. The west places have been grabbed by the elites of this community. I recommended, or we recommended, when I was working as part-time commissioner, the riparian land, the law must be followed the letter. The present leadership has failed. The first thing I will do, when I take office, God willing, and these people give me the mandate, I will follow the law. All of those structures which have not followed the right procedure will come down. As per the law, right now, you go to all rivers, including Kisii town, here. Story building have been erected inside the river. And the raw feces is just streaming down our river.
Go back to your stand, Bishop, all right?
And the present leadership.
Yes.
And the present leadership.
Yeah.
Our Kisii University here did research and they gave a report. The report has not been implemented. As a man of God, I will implement the law to the radar.
All right.
And these structures which I built over, I will involve experts, engineers, to have story building underground and going upwards. So Kisii is a terrible place. It's a dumping ground. Recently, they sold the dumping place and they have taken all the rubbish in Tieko. Thank you, Father Nyanga, who has gone to court, and I'm supporting him. We want to restore Kisii to be a town, a town. The president is watching when our people are dying. I will implement that one. Land grabbers, the first day in office, I will implement those things as a man of God.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bishop. Quite passionate about, restoration of the glory of Kisii town. Senator, as you talk about your plan for sanitation and end of congestion in Kisii town, quite an allegation that the elites of Kisii have decided to grab public land in this county.
That's a very, John, that's a very loaded question. I've had very extensive experience in dealing with land management issues when I was the ambassador for United Nations on environment, and I was able to not only negotiate conventions, but I was also able to negotiate environmental issues where water and sanitation is part and parcel of environmental issues. Secondly, when I was the ambassador for United Nations on habitat, one of the things that I negotiated extensively before I joined to run for senatorship is the new urban agenda. And the new urban agenda is one that deals with the Afri-cities, and you could see one of the experiences that we see extensively in Kisumu when we had a conference there is that when you make what you call spatial planning, you are able to order not only the town like Kisii into a much more acceptable and much more valuable. In fact, you enhance the value of land. You enhance, it doesn't matter, people are scrambling for first line land. You can be able to order the town or the municipality now into a level where it can be able to accommodate people in a much more convenient way. And one of the most important elements that you need to deal with is the question of sanitation. And when you have proper sanitation, you attract investment for people to come and be able to put their investments and put their money there because they feel they're in a safe environment. And if you don't do that, and then you risk the element of turning the whole town into a slum. And this is the biggest headache, the biggest problem. Obviously, one has got to know how to treat the effluents, whether from the sludge that goes to Rihanna site or from the factories that may have been set up that are discharging the effluent to rivers which are toxic and therefore causing hazards for health And some of these areas, you need to examine them because they are environmental hazards that you need to deal with. And therefore, I have a wealth of experience that when I take the office, I'll then apply, first of all, the spatial planning, not only for the Kisii town, but for other urban centers like Ogembo, Nyamache, Nyamarambe, Marani, Suneka. They need to be properly planned so that when the development takes place in an orderly fashion. And that's the only way you can attract. First of all, it enhances the value for land. And secondly, it attracts the investments not only from the local investors, but also from the diaspora.
All right.
There's so much interest by the diaspora to invest in this county. But when they look at the provisions of health and sanitation being supplied, they are a bit not the standard they want to reach.
Okay.
And therefore, it's my intention, having had a very expansive and very rich experience in these areas. I've negotiated the conventions, the New Urban Agenda, I've negotiated the Climate Change Convention, I've negotiated the Biodiversity Convention, which again deals with natural biological agents. See, it's so extensive that I can take the whole day lecturing on what must be done.
All right.
But in brief, I intend to turn this town to a habitable position.
Okay. Going through Kisii town on Chiri, you meet a lot of traders in this town. And Kisii people are known to be hardworking, of course, being an agriculturally productive county. There's a question of access to credit facilities for the traders in Kisii County. How do you intend to address that?
Okay, thank you, John. Kisii town traders, me being one of them, the point is that business has gone down. And the reason why business has gone down is that our clients have no money in their pockets. The economy is bad. As I told you earlier, my political ideology is to Rudi Shambani. Kisii is very rich in terms of land. And as you have put it, John, Kisii people, we are hardworking. And being hardworking, the only thing that we miss is that money out of the hard work that we have. So to improve businesses in Kisii town, before we look at the loans or credit facilities, let us look at our clients. By empowering these farmers, as I said earlier, by having 5 bonuses, 5 pays every month, and 5 bonuses every end of the year. You can see the mamambogas, the farmers moving around, trying to utilize the money they have got. So the first thing I can do for my Kisii people is that increasing the purchase power of our clients. Once the purchase power has been increased, now the business can boom well, and we can easily access the loans from various institutions. But let me take this approach for the loans. When you access Kisii County, the one institution that is the largest is not Mwalimu Sacco. It's not salaried people, but it's an institution of border riders, of which one of them is me. We are 120. So by putting these border riders and strengthening their circles, I'm very sure by end of 5 years, we'll have Kisii border circle doing loans to traders, doing loans to employed people more than Mwalimu Sacco. Thank you.
All right. Bishop, access to credit facilities for the traders of Kisii County or people doing business in this county.
I wish you could have extended your question to cover farmers.
Go ahead. They're also traders.
Surely, how I wish the framers of our constitution did a great mistake to have devolved agriculture. They did suicidal chop. Agriculture should not have been developed and healthy. And I call upon men and women of this country to reconsider even going for a referendum, to take back these two dockets. Agriculture in Kisii is totally dead. Agriculture should be looked at like a business. Now, how can farmers improve their yields if the extension officers never visit the farmers? When these developed units came into being, agriculture died. The new leadership which took office in Kisii in particular, you ask any farm around it, they will tell you they have never seen an agricultural extension officer. The current leadership employed quacks instead of employing experts. When I take over, I will employ experts in the agricultural sector, animal husbandry, and they will do it. I interact with the people every day. They wish agriculture would remain at the national level, because a country without food sufficiency, that is a dangerous, that is a timed bomb. So there is no agriculture currently in Kisii. So first we empower farmers by giving them education. From there, then we will talk about how to give them loans. But currently, they have never seen, for the last 10 years, the people who have been given a responsibility in the agriculture sector, they don't know anything. I'm talking through experience, and I know what I'm talking about. People who are managing agriculture. We had our school, our very new school here, when I was a kid in primary, 1965. That school, ADC, we used to come there. It was wonderful. Animals were wonderful. But it is dead. Go there. It is no longer there. So first, before talking of giving loans, we must empower farmers by giving them the right skills to rule people who are knowledgeable. Don't give somebody with the mechanical knowledge to man agriculture docket.
Okay.
Like they are doing now in Kisii County.
Right.
It is terrible.
Okay.
It is terrible. How I wish these two dockets, healthy and agriculture, are taken back to the national government.
All right.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure we'll talk about value addition for agricultural products, and also health will also come up, and you tell us your plan for health in Kisii County.
Yes.
But Dr. Ongeri, Professor Ongeri, before you even speak about access to credit facilities for traders in this county, as a person who is guarding devolution in the Senate, you know, Bishop believes agriculture and health should not have been devolved. Probably 1 minute to respond to that, and then you talked about access to credit facilities.
Well, obviously, he doesn't have the information, which is important and critical. Empowering people is not centralizing activities at the central level, because then people are devoid of any decision-making process. And when we decided, and I remember I was a member of Serena team, and we proposed, when we were thinking about the new constitution, then one of the elements is to be able to empower people by devolving specific units to the county governments to be able to make decisions, from wananchi to make decisions on their own. And I believe that was a wise decision, and Kenyans made that decision through a referendum. Why? Because today, if you look at all the 47 counties, you'll see there's been very remarkable development in terms of both agricultural development, in terms of health sector. The new units have been put up. The access, the community health workers have been able to reach people in their home states, but it could be done better when I come to power.
All right. Talk about access to credit facilities now, before we talk about
in regards to access to credit.
Yes.
This is the missing link. That one of the most pestering issues is the question of both the traders, those who own certain various businesses, the manufacturing sector, accessing credit to be able to expand their businesses. And I think people must understand this access to places is what means, like in India, they had to create the banks, specific banks, which were tailored to be able to target certain low-income earning groups to create enterprises and to create jobs for those low-income groups, and giving them the capacity to earn much more. You know, if you access people credit and they are able to utilize it well, it will be very useful for them. Like I intend, my colleague here, who is in the border, one of the things that I'll do is to be able to effectively be able to access them from very, very credible resources that they can be able to grow. And instead of hand-to-mouth earnings that they're having today, they can stand on their own and be able to move like honorable members of society. And therefore, credit is not only being administered by the county government. This is a function that you need to be able to do collaborative efforts with the national governments and other external agencies and other banks to be able to work out a program that is suitable for traders, for farmers, for micro enterprises, for those who are doing technology work, ICT. It's just a very expansive area. And therefore, one needs to sit down, do a proper annual development plan, do the CIDP, the County Integrated Development Plan for 5 years, which I intend to do as soon as I get in the office, then do the annual development plan. And one of those plans will factor in access to credit.
Okay. All right, thank you, Professor Sam Ongeri. When we come back, we will be talking about bananas, the vegetables, the tea, the avocados that come from Kisii County. What is your plan for farmers in terms of ensuring that they reap the maximum from what they're farming in their farms? But for now, we're taking a short breather. We'll be back. But of course, we can applaud the three gentlemen for a fantastic job in their arguments and in their submissions. You're watching KBC Channel 1. The hashtag is Kisii Decides. Continue tweeting.
Welcome to Monibi's Apartments. I'm Globa Choti Meshak. Monibis is located at Tasia Embakasi off 75 Road, where you're headed to Utawala. We have a 3-bedroom house that can host you for a day, a month, a week, and you will feel comfortable. It's easily accessible, and you're most welcome. You can reach us on 0729 816 420 or 0723 60 1721. You can always reach us on 0729 816 420 or 0723 60 1721. Welcome all.
Hey, what's up everyone? My name's Alfax Njibuto. This is Aboxy Global Radio 2021. We are here and we are going round and about. Video, photo, audio, anything it is in the media field, Aboxy Global Radio. You already see us. We're out here working all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're out here anywhere in the DFW area, Kenya, anywhere in Kenya. You call us, Aboxy Global Radio. We're here to save the day. Video, audio, photo. Call us 214-489-5885.
Introducing My Story, Story Yangu. Let's know your story. It might be of great encouragement, inspire, or teach someone a lesson. Sasa, ungana naye omwana wepegetutu Videlis Omingo Muchoge kila siku ya wiki ndani ya Story Yangu, kuanzia mwendo wa saa 4 asubuhi hadi saa 8 mchana. My Story, Story Yangu ndani ya AGR FM. Je, unahitaji kukarabati gari lako kwa njia yoyote ile? Usitie hofu. Dhibiti hali ya gari lako sasa. Ramizworks inakupa huduma bora zaidi. Hapa wanakupa huduma zote za gereji kwa magari ya kila aina.
Ramizworks tuna deal na panel beating, spray painting. Ukiwa na kazi yako, leta mali hapa, tunakufanyia kazi safi sana.
Ramizworks inapatikana mjini Kisii daraja 2 kwenye barabara kuu ya Kisii Kisumu. Imekabiliana na Delta Filling Station.
Tunashughulika na magari za accident. Gari imeharibika msuni inaletwa. Tunaomba watu wote walete magari zao hapa. Welcome Kisii.
Kwa maelezo zaidi kuhusu huduma zetu, piga simu nambari 0728888603 au 0790178686. Ramizworks, huduma bora kwa bei nafuu.
Welcome to Monibis Apartments. I'm Globa Choti Meshak. Monibis is located at Tasia Embakasi off 75 Road, where you're headed to Utawala. We have a 3-bedroom house that can host you for a day, a month, a week, and you will feel comfortable. It's easily accessible, and you're most welcome. You can reach us on 0729 816 420 or 0723 601721. You can always reach us on 0729 816 420 or 0723 601721. Welcome all.
Shukran sana JJ. Kwa kweli mtazamaji, mengi yamesemwa, lakini kama ilivyo ada ni kwamba aliye na usemi wa mwisho ni mpiga kura anapoelekea pale debeni, na hivyo basi tunawapa baadhi tu waulize maswali kwa wale wawaniaji ambao wamewasili leo hii. Na tukianza naye, ulikuwa umeinua mkono, utasimama tu tueleze jina lako na swali lako ni lipi. Nitakushikia.
Okay, thank you John Kiuri, and thank you Nancy Okware. My name is Jobo Yugi, a resident of Kisii County. My question goes to Professor Ngeri. Okay, the residents of Kisii County feel that as a senator, you have failed to oversight the current county regime. So if you have failed to oversight the current county government, how are you able to step up to the seat of a governor?
All right, thank you so much for your question. Tutachukua swali lingine kisha kwa kuhusiana na masuala ya kijinsia nitaelekea upande wa nyuma kupata kina dada. Tuanze tunawe, jina lako na swali lako ni lipi leo hii?
My name is Paul Mongare, and my question goes direct to Professor Sam Ongeri, being that you are the senator of Kisii County. And this is the question. I have seen what you've explained to us as the citizens of Kisii, and I'm asking this: what is this that is making you to feel that you are the best candidate fit for this governorship? Thank you.
Naam, shukran sana kwa swali lako, na bila shaka litakuwa linajibiwa baada ya muda usiokuwa mrefu. Tueleze tu jina lako na swali lako ni lipi leo hii?
My name is Lilian Gisesa, and I have a question to all the candidates. Information is power, and I know the library function was devolved to the counties. What do the candidates have as far as libraries are concerned? Because when we talk of agricultural information, we talk of environmental conservation, we talk of so many other issues. Libraries as impartial spaces of information provision play a very important role, and I know currently they are under the devolved governments. I just want to know what their plans are for the libraries in the county.
All right, thank you so much. Your question has been noted. Your name and your question tonight.
Good evening. My name is Vivian Omariba. I am currently Miss President Kisii County. Miss President is a program that airs on KTN that seeks to empower women to take up leadership positions. Now, my question is very intentional. I'm going to ask about gender equality. As part of achieving SDG 5, and Kenya's Constitution, Article 27.8 on the affirmative action, I want to know, what will your government do in terms of empowering women to take part in leadership? Actually, inside here, if you see, if what is here is a statistic to go by, there are only a handful of women who are taking part in public participation. So what will set you apart as governor to empower the Kisii women to take part in leadership? Because we are lagging behind. If you see our neighbors in Rift Valley, Mount Kenya, Western, these other counties, they are taking part, the women are taking part in leadership. Actually, all our 6 aspirants of Kisii County are all men. What about the women? What are you going to do about that? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. And before I hand it back to John Kioria, there is a question on Twitter by Momanyi, who is asking, ask the candidates what's their plan on working with MCAs and other leaders cohesively. JJ.
All right, quite huge questions there. Professor Ongeri, you take the hit. 2 questions for you. 1, this president feels you have failed to oversight the current county government. Why do you think you are best to be the next governor?
I don't know how you determine failure. Because the function of a senator, there are 3 functions clearly spelled out in the Constitution, Article 96. 1, the oversight of the county. And the oversight means that when we go for allocation of funds at the national level, at the Senate level, we sit under Senate, and we have what we call division of revenue allocation to all the 47 counties. That's the division between the national government and the county government. And when that is done, which we finished today, and we've been able to allocate 370 billion Kenya shillings to the counties, all the 47 counties. Before that, it was the function of, we only used to get about 310 billion Kenya shillings. And as Senate, we negotiated, and we have been able to now get 370 shareable revenue. That's between the national government and the county governments. Up from 310 billion Kenya shillings to 370 billion Kenya shillings. There is the element what we call conditional grants. That's another element which is up to about 35, 40 billion, and therefore counties are going to get more than 400 billion Kenya shillings, which is a record time. The way we oversight these funds is through the Office of the Auditor General. There is an establishment, an independent commission, the Auditor General Commission, who comes and oversights the funds, who comes and audits the funds, and those funds, when they are audited, a report is tabled before the Senate, and we debate. And I've been a chairman, I've been a member, and a chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. That's when we interrogate the Auditor General's report, and we find out where there are mistakes, and we dish out penalties where there are penalties required, or we caution, or we do certain rectification.
Senator, has there been an audit query that has come before you as regards Kisii County?
Yes, they have come before me.
What did you do?
And they have defended it. You see, you must differentiate a senator. You are not a person who is going to, one of these people are going to be an agitator. Senator, you think reasonably, and you look at the facts as they present themselves before you. And I think when the governor has appeared before the Senate, we have interrogated him. We have not spared him. And we've done our job. Now, there must be a difference between witch hunting and looking at the facts. And the only way you can deal with the facts is when they come through a commission which is established by law, and that's through the Office of the Auditor General.
All right.
Anything else beside and outside that, you are witch hunting.
All right. Why do you think you should be the next governor? I think that's a question that also came to you in 1 minute.
Yes. The reason why I should be the next governor, I have the experience. I now know I've allocated money to the county governments. I've looked at the way the money is being spent. And I feel that when I get here, I'm going to do certain innovations that will be able to enhance the use of this money to be able to reach out to the public and the various sectors that are planned for. Sectoral planning is very critical in this area, and obviously agriculture being a devolved function, health being a devolved function, and other facilities. The ECD element, early childhood education, is a very critical area that we need to develop now that we have a new curriculum, the competence-based curriculum. We need to prepare our children at the early childhood education programs so they're able to dovetail into the CBC smoothly without any headache.
And of course, we will interrogate some of those things further. Let me spread it out to you on Chile. This question on libraries, because information is power. Like Lillian says, spend 1 minute explaining to us what you intend to do with libraries in Kisii.
As I said earlier, my government will entail professionals. And by culturing professionals, we have to culture the tendency of reading. It's unfortunate that currently the library we have is under national government and it's only one. So under my leadership, starting from the ECD classes, which is under the devolved units, those kids need to be empowered. So we need to have libraries, mini libraries in small schools, especially ECDs. And at the same time, for these guys who are in high school, in colleges, we need to have public libraries in every sub-county. That's my key agenda on that, right. Empowering.
Okay. Bishop, your vision on libraries?
My brother, I'm living in this county, and I'm professionally trained teacher with masters in educational management and administration. In fact, when I see what is happening in my county, Kisii, I feel like crying. Right now, as we are talking, for the last 2 years, bursaries have never been given to our children simply because of corruption. As my brother Onchiria said, being a teacher, I know what it means to have a library in an institution. So, as a governor, to me that's very simple. After having grown from a primary school teacher up to a university lecturer, that will not be a problem to me. I will make sure in every marketplace, in every major marketplace, in every 9 sub-counties, I will have a library. I've been a teacher, retired, I've never earned $1 million. Part of my salary, which I really wish for $1 million. In fact, I will even realize I have of it to put up libraries in these marketplaces. There's a saying which says, you need not to use atomic bombs and long-range missiles to destroy a country. Only lower the standards of education and allow teaching and examination. That country is finished. Let me not say much.
Okay.
I beseech my people of Kisii County, give me an opportunity. I'm not just a reverend. I'm a trained teacher, properly trained. And And I know what I'm talking.
Right.
I've taught education in this university.
Okay.
And that's a university. So my people, give me an opportunity. I will serve you. I'm an old man, a man of God, a man of integrity. You will never regret.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop. Professor Ongeri, 1 minute to talk about libraries.
In the digital age, library can take different forms. I believe some may be thinking of a physical library, but you can't be able to store materials in the digital form. And we're encouraging our young kids to be able to set up, to be able to access materials which are allowed through properly investigated and well set out curriculum, which has been developed through the curriculum development centers in the national level, Kenya curriculum development centers. Therefore, libraries are a fountain of knowledge. Without a library, you are not able to access your children or anybody, including adults, to knowledge and information which is critical for development to the future. Therefore, I make it my business to be able to create very well set up libraries, both digital libraries and physical libraries, to help the young people to develop their potential and their knowledge, because that's part of my business. And I believe, as a doctor, as a professor in medicine, that one of the things one needs to do during the early age of a development of a child, that's when the brain is able to pick up a lot of things, and a lot of languages, a lot of information is stored, and they easily, if you are not able to give them the right inputs, they will get the wrong information, and you will have a child developing in the wrong way. And therefore it becomes a responsibility both of the county government, because the ECD is under the county government, and the responsibility of the national government to ensure that whatever libraries are being set up are the libraries that will be able to promote knowledge and access to materials that will be able to enhance their educational capacities.
All right. On Chiri, the aspect of women participation in politics, and I will add an extra one to it. How do you entrench public participation as a constitutional right in Kisii?
Okay, thank you, John. Being a resident in Kisii and being a practitioner as a veterinary, I'm proud that I'm the only one candidate who knows every corner of Kisii, and I can say that Kisii County, women are more than men. In Kisii County, we have left our young men going to search for employment elsewhere, leaving back women hustling with farming. So as a governor, I will not only do the 30% gender rule, I will do it 50. Because we are lucky enough, as you put it, John, Kisii people are industrious. We are educated. So in any opportunity, either leadership or employment, we set aside those ratios, 50-50. And in those ratios, we have to set that equally every sub-county. So in my leadership, expect a government with 50% women and 50% men. Thank you.
Constitutional. That is public participation as a constitutional right, very quickly.
Yes, thank you. I've done that before, and especially in the widows. In my door-to-door, day-to-day duties as a veterinary, and as I've told you that most of the people we encounter at home, they're the women. And I've tried to put them together and to teach them, because this is what they lack, about public participation. And it's their right. And as a governor, that right we have to give them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bishop, women participation. Your 1 minute as you talk about also public participation.
I really feel disappointed. I love women naturally. I love women and youth. When I was listening, when I was thinking of entering into this noble professional politics, I did research. I'm a researcher by training. For 3 years, I wanted a woman or a lady to be my running mate. And I wanted to be very, very, very open to you, my people of Kisii County. I wanted to get a lady from South Mogirango and Bonchari to be my running mate. And I had said this, it must be a lady of integrity. 3 years doing research, I'm a bishop, using my church members and other sources. I was disappointed. My dear ladies were asking me, Bishop, how much do you have in your bank account? Well, I found some good ladies. But when they gave me their papers were fake. So, when I was disappointed, I went for the youth. I was lucky to find a youth who is even not the age of my last born. From Ibeno, Yalibari Chache, who is teaching now at Kyogo, as a board teacher, earning 5,000. 28 and 10 years. It's not the age of my last born. I took that boy. He's now my running mate. When my ladies had disappointed me, when we were, I had ladies as gubernatorial candidates. They all disappeared. I don't know where they went. They were very many. Now, ladies, Paul and son, you are enemies of your own. Okay. However, we are trying, but they are not coming up. Now, I don't know. How can I assist? The people are not willing to be assisted.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Professor Ongeri, you 1 minute to talk about women participation.
Well, let me say, I have tremendous respect for the women.
Audience, kindly, let's allow.
Let me say, I have tremendous respect for the women. When you consider the daily chores that women go through, they bring us all, without an exception, men and women. And therefore, for me, I see it as an important function that at the family unit, they must also be involved in the social interaction, political interaction that happens at the county level and at the national level. And therefore, it's important that we create an opportunity in accordance with the Constitution that we involve women in regards to one-third gender rule in all aspects, whether at political level or at the executive level or at the public participation level or at the family level. And therefore, I recognize women. They play a very formidable role in society. They are the initiators of development. If you look around, they're the people who can withstand the scorching sun in markets to be able to sell and earn a living for the family. And these are the people who must be heavily supported. My government will have a bias towards supporting the women, because I believe when you support a woman, you support the family.
All right. This is much more of a political and a governance question on how you plan to involve MCAs, or what will be your working relationship with MCAs if you're elected governor, Unchiri.
Okay. I'm from Musawa Party, and I'm privileged to have 22 aspiring MCAs across the county, and I'm very sure they will be the majority in our bunge. So MCAs have their mandate of oversight and approvals of government projects. And the key thing which will be approachable for me is accessibility of MCAs to the governor's office. As a governor, I'll put in every ward governor's office, whereby I come and interact with the MCAs and understand what the ward requires or the community requires. In that, we have made a good relationship with our MCAs, and above all, I pray that Kisii people elect MCAs who are not Gubernatorials, who are for the agenda of helping common mananchi, so that we cannot have issues like currently we have a donor who is trying to give something to Magena Market, and the MCAs demanding some bribes to approve that. By having good relationship with them and reaching to them, it's easy to ensure that things move slow to effect my agendas.
All right. Bishop, when you talk about a good relationship with MCAs, in most cases and in many counties, it has been about the governor yielding to the demands of, MCAs, either corruptly or otherwise. What will be your relationship with MCAs?
Thank you very much. As a man on the ground, right now, I have a very good working relationship with all MCAs and MPs, especially, MCAs from, I don't want to mention their names here, from Gitutu, Chachenot. They know the MCA who is an independent candidate. Please give that young man a chance. From South Mogirango, Tabaka, I've got a very good working relationship with that boy. It's a young man. And many other places. They even helped me to get the required, as you know, independent candidacy. We were required, it's very wrong, to submit IDs. They were going through the night looking for. I got 3,000 IDs. So my relationship with these independent people who are MCA, who were denied party ticket, it is very cordial. And I know as a governor, I will achieve very little if I'm not supported by these people. So currently, they know where they are. Ubasi everywhere, Machoge. I'm with them. Even how I'm talking right now, they know. In fact, they helped me to get the ID at night.
Listening to you, Bishop, are you saying once you're elected governor, you only work with independent MCAs?
Not really.
Yes.
Not really. I've said, right now, the majority of people in Kisii, MCAs, are independent. That one does not mean I will segregate. No. I'm saying, in order to achieve my objectives, I must work with everybody. The way I'm seeing right now in Kisii, I'm very sure 90% will be independent.
Okay.
I've heard what people are saying. Because good people were denied the chance. People were just being handed by the tickets. Because it's your girlfriend, it's your boyfriend, it's your...
That's quite an allegation. That's quite an allegation to make, and nobody can substantiate that, Bishop. Audience, kindly, audience, we agreed. All right. Professor Ongeri, your 1 minute, and I'm sure within your 5 years as senator for Kisii County, you have encountered this unhealthy relationship between the governor and MCAs, and it always results out of corruption. If you're elected governor in Kisii, how do you plan to work with MCAs? Obviously, without having to involve, money coming from the exchequer to fund the demands of the MCAs.
There are three roles for the MCAs. The role of oversight, to oversight my executive function through my CECs at the county level. That's one role. The second role is protect the interests of the county. And the third role is legislation in the county. And therefore, as a governor, I must learn to balance these interests without necessarily trying to influence them in oversighting the business of the county. It is also through them, once they pass the budgets in the county government, the implementation of some of those budgets in their wards, in their respective 45 wards, will be carried out through the oversight of the MCAs. Therefore, they have a vital role in ensuring that the budget they pass in the county assembly, which is being implemented by the executive, goes to the Mwananchi reaching out to the common mwananchi. And that was the purpose of the Constitution, after all. When we talked about devolution, it was meant that people at the grassroots must feel the impact of government, whether you are talking of a national government or you are talking of a county government. Therefore, my responsibility is to be able to balance out the interests of the wards and where they come from, and the level of developments that must go to that ward, and how the budgets that are being passed by the county assembly, which have been generated by my executive government, they will be able to ensure that the oversight of those funds are being put into proper use in accordance with the annual development plan.
All right. You know, before I hand it to Nancy Okware, was some feedback from social media. You've all touched about the aspect of agriculture. But I would want to know, Onchiri, if you're elected governor, what you plan to do to empower farmers in the county of Kisii? And the question being, are they getting value for the products they're getting out of their farms?
Okay. Mr. John, for agriculture, I'm a veterinary by profession. And I've practiced in Kisii County for the past 15 years. That's why my political ideology is to Rudi Shambani. This is the only place that you can touch Kisii and solve all the problems. I appreciate the work my immediate former governor, Ongwae. He has done a good work in health.
He's not a former governor, he's the current governor.
Okay, thank you. Now, he has done a good job in health. For me, I'll leave a legacy of doing a good job in agriculture. And Dr. Nchiri will be remembered forever to have improved agriculture. So let us go to the program. As our party, our economic model is called household economic model. We look at the households and empower the households so that they can generate something in their pocket. As you have asked, do they get value for what they do? No. Currently, farmers are frustrated. Starting from tea, coffee they have given up, bananas they are selling to hawkers, to brokers at a throwaway price. So under my leadership, as I said, I'll add the salaries to the local mwananchi into 5. Let us go one by one.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. Starting with banana. Banana being the signature of Kisii County. And from agriculture, we know, from the people of the professionals in agriculture, they say Kisii banana is the sweetest. In my administration, I will embark on the local banana we have, not the China one. And by establishing Kisii Banana Agency, which is equivalent to KTDA, which we have an oversight. Actually, recently we did a union in banana, around 6-7 months ago. And through this union, we can establish Kisii Banana Agency. And we put the headquarters at Kiombu. Its mandate is to ensure to sell the banana of a Kisii person, so that we can eliminate the brokers and cartels. So that the old mama there cuts this bunch of banana, takes it to the local buying center. And the weighing, that's the key thing, weighing the banana, so that we can pay as per the kilos is applied. And I will put the minimum price for every commodity as a county. And for banana, it's 20 shillings per kilo. And by giving the small lands we have, we will not do plantations. Just go to the homestead, across there, before the main shamba, put 10 plants of banana. Once you put 10 plants of banana, as per the professionals in that, it can yield around 150 kilos of banana per month. Doing it at 20 shillings, that is 3,000 shillings. That is household economic model. All right. So every month, apart from the 2,000 of tea, it will add 3,000 of banana. Let us go, and you can see we need a lot of employment. Tunaiza magari, we have drivers, we have accountants who are processing all this, and that's creation of job employment opportunities.
Your 2 minutes are over.
No, that's my key agenda. Going quickly. Going to dairy. Dairy, as we speak now, that's why I'm a professional. Kisii County, we are running at a loss of 40 million every day to the dairy sector. Actually, if we expose that, all of us will have avoided that sector. Currently, fodder is very high. A cow consumes around 400 shillings per day, and it produces 300 shillings per day. We have a total of 200,000 cows in Kisii County. So you can do the maths and get the 40 million.
Okay.
In my government, I will ensure through my household economic model, every household must have a cow. A cow, a standard cow, which produces 10,000 shillings through milk. And by subsidized fodder, from every village, we create silos so that we can reduce the price from 400 to 200.
Okay.
So that the farmer can get the value for his money. So let me finish this. So we have had 2,000 of tea, 3,000 of banana, 10,000 of dairy. Finishing with, we need to do value addition, and we have a good roasting scent of coffee in Suneka or Bonchari. We have to empower those people and bring up those kahawa so that we can make locally our kahawa here.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nchiri. Before I engage Bishop, Nancy Okwara, what do you have?
Yes, thank you so much, JJ. We do have a number of questions on our Twitter page, that is at KBC Channel 1, at Nancy Okwara, and of course at J Kioria. Remember that the hashtag to use is Kisii Decides. We have Sarah Nyabuto who wants to know, please ask Senator how he intends to deal with ethnicity and recruitment based on who you know and whose child you are. We also have Brian Beke who says, what plans do they have for the Kisii artists? Daniel Mukromen says, a month living in Kisii as a recent resident, I've been grappling with the traffic jams and what seems to be unregulated border sector affecting ease of movement within Kisii town. I'd be happy to hear proposals on how to solve the transport impasse in Kisii. We also have Vincent Achochi. He says, to all the aspirants, what's their take on matters education? And finally, we have another one talking about 2 weeks ago, county staff demonstrated outside the county offices due to delay in salaries. Now, this paints a bad picture of an otherwise great county. I'm yet to hear any gubernatorial candidate address payment of wages and salaries to county staff, as well as oversight by the senator. JJ, that's all we have from our social media platforms.
All right, and we'll be taking up some of his questions. But on the aspect of agriculture, Bishop, you have your 2 minutes.
Thank you, my brother. I live in Kisii and I eat bananas. You go to Keumbu, that big banana, it is sold at 200 shillings, 300 shillings. Go to Mogonga, go to Suneka. Our farmers are really crying. The present leadership, I really wonder how their priorities are. They are upside down. Imagine somebody putting up a factory without first having materials. The present leadership has totally failed our people. They have got the machineries there up there for avocado, for banana, but our farmers have not been given seedlings. How do we expect to uplift the farmers? What I will do, as I've said, in my government, come 11th or 12th, I will employ experts in dairy, in plants. The experts will work. And I know in Kisii we have these men and women. We have machineries there, avocado, sugarcane. What was out of Mugirango? You have been cheated for the last 10 years that the factory is there. Is it there? Is it there? It will never come. It will never come. I will implement it if you give me the votes. Using the knowledge of experts. Not me. I will be a supervisor. Our farmers are failed by our own leaders. My leadership will ensure that whoever is in charge in every docket is a man who has knowledge in that field. How do you take somebody who did, I don't know what, like my professor there, if you put the professor in the docket of health, he will do excellent. If you put Onyanja in the docket of education and the social services, he will do wonders. But what's happening here? I have documented evidence. People are given dockets, they don't know what to do. So they are our farmers. I wish those old days, national government, the way it was working, it was terrible. Artificial insemination, people are moving around, extension officers who are advising our farmers. Those things, I don't know where they went. The coming of the evolution. I will use the expertise that we have. Thank you.
Okay. Your 2 minutes, Dan. Thank you, Bishop. Professor Sabongeri, your vision for agriculture in the county of Kisii.
I have an economic model. Create incubation centers. Within that incubation centers at every ward, you will have agribusinesses, you will have trading services, you will have ICT, and you will have a manufacturing sector. For today, I'll deal with the agribusinesses. One of the things that is a waste, we can create tremendous wealth in this county, is the banana aspect of it. The banana, you can get 7 products out of the banana. We have not exploited it, and therefore my business, when I get to become the governor of this county, is to be able to create the agribusinesses supported by national promotion centers internationally and locally and nationally, to be able to enhance the value of one of the primary products of this country, of this county, which is the banana. You can get anything from crisps to 7 products, in fact 9 products out of the banana. So what do? Create cold storages instead of selling the whole bulk of banana, where they will go for grading, where they will also go for price tagging, so the farmer doesn't become a victim of the middleman. The people who come in and they just look at your banana, they say if you don't sell it today, it's a waste. Avocado, it's a very painful experience when you see the mothers standing on the roadside wasting their avocado for 2 shillings, 1 shilling, 50 cents sometimes, because it's rotten. Avocado in European countries is about $2 to $3. So what will I do? I'll create cold storages where the avocado will be harvested, will be graded, they will be then put in various grades, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and that as a premium price. Some will be for local consumption, some for the domestic market in Kenya, others for regional market, others for exports. What does that happen? It enhances the value and the economic power of the farmer. Dairy farming, it will create, every homestead must have a farming, a cow. First of all, to be able to get enough milk for children who can grow in a healthy environment. And by that, I will also be promoting health standards, because if you have a healthy child, the disease burden will be lower, and therefore the expenses to go to the hospitals will be lowered. Okay. That's how I intend to empower this community to be ebullient and to be able to move around with the money in their pockets, not by being dodged by various hawkers around who come from Nairobi and other places, and they squander away the wealth of the nation.
All right.
The wealth and the strength of this county is going to be in agriculture.
Okay. Before we take up those questions that came from our social media sites, Kisii County has 32 community health units, 84 dispensaries, 28 health centers, and 14 hospitals, at least according to the Kisii County website. But there's the problem of provision of drugs and medical supplies. And number two, dealing with malaria, diarrhea, skin diseases, as well as respiratory diseases, and the high infection of HIV and AIDS. How does your administration plan to deal with these things, Onchiri?
Okay, thank you for that question. As a governor, I'll work with what is called preventive medicine. There's no need of a healthy working nation going to the hospital. I will minimize patients in the hospitals. First, as my learned friend here can attest to that, the act of having clean water in the homesteads prevents a lot of diseases. So as a government, I'll ensure that in every homestead we have tapped water. And it's very unfortunate that the springs that most of us people depend on, they are contaminated, not because of our making, but because of the small sizes. We have latrines across there. The water table is contaminated. So most of the springs in Kisii County are contaminated. So they are the major cause of the waterborne diseases. So by ensuring that every spring we treat the water and pump it uphill and flow with gravity to every homestead, it will assist in the reduction of diseases. At the same time, no more patients to the hospital. At the same time, availability will be available of drugs. And very conscious enough is that we have a culture of going to the river to fetch water by young girls. At that note, we reduce a lot of pregnancies, early teen pregnancies, by having water at the homesteads. Another thing, exercise. By engaging Kisii community in those 5 key activities, this man or this woman will do a love exercise which will chase away diseases. And above all, by eating well, milk in every homestead, that's a healthy nation. So in the aspect of drugs availability in the hospitals, is that we have only one challenge: no money available. I see every other time budget being passed, money allocation for health. But for example, our KTRH here, the money to buy drugs comes from the money that Mama gives 20 bob, the collection from the hospital. We have never pumped, as a government, money to the hospital. And the infrastructure in the hospitals are done by NGOs or donors. So if we put aside money for the hospitals, we do with KEMSA, pay in advance very well, we'll have enough drugs and avoid the side road pharmacies.
All right.
Yeah.
Bishop, your 2 minutes in terms of the provision of healthcare in Kisii.
My brother, as I had said earlier, and I will continue saying, we did a mistake by devolving health and agriculture. Kisii level 5, level 6, I hear they call it level 5, 6. In fact, I will never advise our people to go there. Even they don't go there. There are no drugs. There are no drugs. Kisii level 5. The mortuary is of international standard. The mortuary we have in Kisii, you can even eat the food inside there. But you cannot get even Banado. I used to go there. God has blessed me so much. Go there. You have this NHF card. You are told the machines are not working. Imagine a river hospital telling you to go to Woodika, Emma, these private hospitals. I really wonder. It is because of corruption. Those who are charged with the responsibilities, this top leadership, they are the tenders, they are the suppliers, and they are their own kiosks called chemists. That's the problem in Kisii. As given my matter, I transferred my matter in law, all my family members to private hospitals. You cannot get even a glove in Kisii.
So how do you intend to fix
corruption?
Yes.
As a new governor, I will never tolerate corruption.
Okay.
And I've never in my teaching career and in my pastoral career, people know me, it is corruption.
All right.
I will reverse. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. Professor Sam Ongeri, your manifest in terms of healthcare, your 2 minutes very quickly.
One of the most expensive items in any family unit is the cost of healthcare. If you see the number of requests coming through by people, either to relatives or friends, is the cost of healthcare in trying to take a brother, a sister, a daughter, a son to hospital and procuring services from those hospitals. So one of the things that need to be done is to balance between the curative and promotive health. Curative health has the element of costing so much money, and therefore it may deplete the budgets that you may have set up, hence occasioning the lack of drugs in some of the health facilities that are available. So one of the things that I will need to do as a governor is to ensure that the promotion of health care, health sanitation, public health in every unit, in every village is taken care of, because then that will reduce what you call preventive diseases. Diarrhea need not be a problem if you have water and sanitation, proper sanitation. You don't have to get these basic infections that you can clear. Malaria is preventable if you have mosquito-treated nets in the home and they are being provided for during the rainy seasons like now. These are preventable situations. And when you do so, you reduce the health cost by almost 50%. What is left as curative, then you deal with the problems of procurement. All right. Where there are procurement, there may be flaws in procurement, because if you have a properly set up budget for procurement of drugs, and these drugs are properly procured, and they reach, and the distribution, procurement's one level, and the distribution of those drugs to health units is another level. Right. So these are the twin areas that you must pursue rigorously to ensure that people receive the package that they are required to receive.
All right, I'm running out of time, and some of his questions, I can't take them up, but for a minute, each one of you, for a minute. There's a question of clanism and something called Ogosera handouts. The candidates campaigning in this county are promoting clanism and this Ogosera. 1 minute.
It's very unfortunate. My professor doesn't know Ogosera is just giving handouts of 100 shillings or 50 shillings to bribe the voters to vote for you, Prof. Now, this is what has made us slag behind, and is the root cause of corruption. And I'm sorry to say that some of my competitors are encouraging that, and they are using that as their major agenda. It's unfortunate that that's why possibly they didn't come, I don't know. All right. For me, I believe that you vote for me, you give me the job, I do for you the work.
Okay.
Otherwise, if I bribe you, that money I used to bribe, I have to recover it. So my fellow competitors who are doing the same, as voters, be assured that they will recover mercifully. That is the root cause of corruption.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm told the rest of you will not have a response on that question. Fortunately, time is up and we need to wind up. So thank you very much. Bishop, thank you very much. Onchiri Ratemo, as well as Professor Sam Ongeri, and we wish you all the best in your ambitions. In about 61 days to come, all of you will go to the ballot. May the best candidate win. And thank you very much for turning up tonight. Thank you very much, our audience, again, for gracing the debate. You can clap for yourself as well as appreciate the three gentlemen who came for the debate. My name is John Jacob Kerry on behalf of the production crew as well as Nancy Okware. Have yourself a good night and thank you for watching.
Je, unahitaji kukarabati gari lako kwa njia yoyote ile? Usitie hofu. Dhibiti hali ya gari lako sasa. Ramizworks inakupa huduma bora zaidi. Hapa wanakupa huduma zote za gereji kwa magari ya kila aina.
Ramizworks tuna deal na panel beating, spray painting. Ukiwa na kazi yako, leta mali hapa tunakufanyia kazi safi sana.
Ramizworks inapatikana mjini Kisii daraja 2 kwenye barabara kuu ya Kisii Kisumu. Imekabiliana na Delta Filling Station.
Tunashughulika na magari za accident. Gari imeharibika msuni inaletwa. Tunaomba watu wote walete magari zao hapa. Welcome Kisii.
Kwa maelezo zaidi kuhusu huduma zetu, piga simu nambari 0728888603 au 0790178686. Ramizworks, huduma bora kwa bei nafuu.
Welcome to Monibis Apartments. I'm Globa Choti Meshak. Monibis is located at Tasia Embakasi off 75 Road where you're headed to Utawala. We have a 3-bedroom house that can host you for a day, a month, a week, and you will feel comfortable. It's easily accessible, and you're most welcome. You can reach us on 0729 816 420 or 0723 601721. You can always reach us on 0729 816 420 or 0723 601721. Welcome all.
Somotoria lote bana ngana lya tworo kirenjera na are na intwe aigarero korangeria lencho twaso